So what's going on, guys? Right, Box here, and welcome to a brand new episode of our MotoGP 21 career mode. And today we're heading into the Finnish Grand Prix, a circuit which, you know, I could really give or take. This circuit, I just hit or miss. So inconsistent with our performances here over the past on this game and the previous game. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. We've qualified P2, about 300ths of a second behind Quartararo. But will our pace translate into good race pace? Well, we'll have to see on the Ducati. But taking a look at the standings, then Mir, he retook the lead in the championship over Quartararo last time out. If you missed that episode, go check it out. But for now, we've got the Finnish Grand Prix. We're sat in third in the championship. Let's see if we can close on up a little bit today. So then, in terms of tyres, wow, we used a soft in qualifying. I'm going to use a soft again in the race, but in terms of the rear tyre, I was kind of tempted to go for a hard, but the problem was practice was all wet, and then qualifying was the first dry sessions of the weekend, and then the race was dry as well, so we've had no prep on the tyres at all. So we're going to go soft front, medium rear, just like we did in qualifying. Let's see if we can make that medium last. Hopefully it doesn't overheat. Zarco went for a hard, Bagnaia went for a medium as well. Miller went for medium front and medium rear. Oliveira hard front, hard rear. So lots of varied choices out there. Let's see whose pays off. And yeah, I was in two minds about the rear tyre, medium or hard. I went for medium. Let's see what we can do then. Just behind Fabio Quartararo. Mir's there in P4, just behind us as well. He's right there. If he gets a good start, he's going to come after us. But let's see what we can do then. From the middle of the front row, if we get a good launch, we could go up the inside of Quartararo. He sort of covers us off a little bit. He's left the gap though. Slot in front of him, sort of block him off a bit, and we end up running wide. The Yamaha just turns so much better through there, and I'm going out wide to the long lap penalty, losing positions left, right and centre. That was not good there. The Ducati just didn't turn like that Yamaha did. And here we go. Take it out of Power Mode 3. Making up loads of positions, trying to find a way on the brakes up the inside of Zarco. Doesn't quite work. Bagnaia is coming back at us. Quartararo leads them from Mir. Got the two Pramacs alongside us. Don't know where Miller is. A bit further back, I think, but Jorge Martin just ahead. Zarco's there. So's Bagnaia. Let's see if we can make this work in the race. Someone's gone down. Don't know who that was, but Vinales is right there. Still waiting on Milestone to do the update to get Vinales Aprilia. I don't know if they will do that update. Nothing's confirmed, but I assume they would. One last patch for the end of the season, just before the last few races. You'd hope they would. Or at least ready for the last race. Last update to the game. I don't know if they will. And in lap number 1 then. Still behind Zarco. Jorge Martin made it through on his teammate, but that mistake at the start of the race may cost us a podium finish. Bagnaia is there, P3, pulling away from the two Pramacs, so I need to get ahead of both of these Pramac riders if possible. But let's see. Hopefully down this straight we get a big toe. The AI is slow in a straight line, so especially around here. It was even worse around here. Milestone sort of fixed this issues at some tracks, but look at this. Look at that, gained so much on Zarco. He's on a Ducati as well, so it's definitely not Ducati power. Slowing the bike down nicely. Getting that nice clean overtake on Zarco. Now it's time to go after his teammate Jorge Martin, who's dropping off a little bit off of Bagnaia. I struggle through the twisty sections. This is where a Yamaha would be perfect. Or even the Suzuki would turn well around here, but the Ducati feels a bit boatish almost. But yeah, it's not too bad. Just not as probably refined as that Yamaha. Look at that M1 go. Quartararo at the hands of that M1 as well. Pulling away. And Bagnaia now putting the pressure on Mir. So I think he's had a couple of poor rounds and he wants to get back in the championship charge. For me, we need to try and get ahead of at least Mir or Quartararo in this race to close them down a bit in the championship. But middle of the season is where our form traditionally dips a little bit. A couple of tracks we don't get on at. Finland's one of them. So let's put it into power mode 3. Got 5 laps to go then. Getting nicely on the brakes there into turn 1. 44.5 is the fastest lap of the race. 44.6 is what we did on that last lap. We can start to push now. Probably get Martin again on the brakes, but we're going a little bit quicker through the first sector. Maybe getting a 10th on our personal best time. Power mode 3 there is Zarco dropping back a little bit. Here we go, gaining on the Pramac man. Go to the outside. Trying to get the bike slowed down. We do just that. Did a brilliant job on the brakes there, if I do say so. Gained a few tenths. Into 7 and 8. This is a pretty hard combo of corners to get right on Find Him. Here comes Jorge Martin. It's going to be on the outside though. Can't do much around there. And we fend off that little attack back from Jorge Martin. So sat in P4, gap's about 1.1 to Bagnaia. It's about getting our head down now. Closing this 1 second gap. See if we can bridge the gap. Hopefully he will start battling a bit with the Suzuki Amir. I mean, he's all over the back of him, isn't he? I bet Bagnaia could win this race. He's got some solid pace to date. Here he is, trying to get underneath of the Suzuki, but the Suzuki turns well, defends. So, a 44.7 that time round. No one goes quicker than a 44.5, but we're very much mid 44s. So if I can just get into the low 44s, we'll close down on our teammate, but the gap's 1 second now, so we're getting a couple of tenths on Bagnaia. He is being held up by Mir. Got a poor exit there onto the straight. But yeah, he's definitely being held up by the Suzuki man. Quartararo could end up winning this race. Whoa, unless Bagnaia decides to get by pretty soonish. But look at that, Quartararo, there's probably about over a second gap there. Yeah, it must be about a second to a second and a half gap there, so Bagnaia needs to clear in quick. But the longer he stays behind him is, I guess, pretty good. It's going to allow us to catch up. Gap's about 8 tenths, 9 tenths of a second to Bagnaia. Can't quite close this down quick enough, but I feel like Quartararo is being closed in a little bit by Mir. But we're going to go a bit quicker. 44.5, matching the fast lap of the race. Not quite taking it though. Later on the brakes into turn 1, plenty of time to be gained through there. It's this flip-flop bit through turn 2 and 3 where, oh, massive corner cut there. But we lost time, so track limit warning, but lost time. Gap still about 9 tenths. It's so hard to break this down. I need to do a low 44 time, really, to be able to close this down. We've only got 2 laps after this one. Oh, very unstable on the brakes that time round. Tipping it in. Flick it into 7, round into 8. I don't know where we can gain time really. The main straight is probably one of our best opportunities to overtake because the AI are so slow down there, but through the corners they're really pulling away. And I tell you what, the tyres lasted a treat. The front's starting to go a bit, but that's to be expected. The tyre temps have been perfect all race long. The rear tyre has been fine and it will be alright for the race, so hard was definitely not the way to go. So I run a bit wide there. That's cost us. We lost about half a second on this lap, and you could tell Amir making a mistake there. Don't know what happened there. Mir's made a mistake and Bagnaia's through. So can we get Johan Mir? Can we get him? Don't know. We've made some mistakes on this lap and lost a lot of time. The gap's 1.3 seconds to Mir. If I was a bit closer, we might have been able to pounce, but I've got Jorge Martin now on the back of us. I need to pump in another good lap time if possible. Sort it out on the brakes into turn 1, come on. Gain a little bit through there. Oh, I just can't. The rear tyre's starting to go, it's slipping around a bit. Nothing too bad though, just need to control it. Very much stuck in no man's land, and now we're under pressure from Jorge Martin. Not what we need. Let's see what we can do on the brakes. That's a bit better. Into 5. Mir's losing touch with Bagnaia. He really is. Bagnaia's on a charge. Can Bagnaia catch Quartararo by the end of the race? I doubt it. He's going to gain, but I don't think he's going to gain enough. He's going to have to gain a lot of time. He'll probably set a fast lap of the race right now. Depends how his tyres are. He's on the exact same tyres as ours. It's about how he's looked after them though. 1.3 is the gap to Mir. Don't know if we're going to get this podium. Oh, Bagnaia's crashed. Whoa. When the AI fall off, you have to avoid the bike. You can hit the person, but not the bike. So Bagnaia down. Same corner that Mir made a mistake. So that is not ideal for Bagnaia. He's only in 6th now, though, considering he's fallen off. But we're up on our personal bets for this first sector, which is good because we've got Martin, Vinales, and Bagnaia all behind, going to be wanting to get through on us. We're doing pretty well on the brakes here as well into turn 5. Gaps 1.4 to Mir. Gained a lot more time on this final lap. Just hooked everything up nicely. Probably getting used to the worn tyres, but yeah, through these S's, losing time again. So the tyres, limiting factor here. Maybe if it was earlier on in the race, could have made progress, but the rear end's squirming a bit. Front end's trying to wheelie. That's how much power is in this Ducati. Such a quick bike in a straight line. But still losing touch with the Suzuki. We only really gained on the straights, proving that, you know, the Suzuki really does turn well. It's these corners here on the middle sector where it's just not suiting our bike so much. But Bagnaia is going to get the fast lap of the race, I think, unless someone does anything on the final lap. I've just got to bring it home. We've got Vinales behind now. I don't know who's crashed. Vinales there, Jorge Martin still there, Bagnaia still there. Coming around the final corner then, Quartararo is going to take the win. And for us, it's going to be P3 gifted to us because of rider crashes. But yeah, I'll take that, P3. But the wrong order. Both of our rivals are going to pull out on us here, so not ideal. So then in the championship, still P3 and everything stays the same. Just that Quartararo gains a bit on Mir. He's now only 6 points back. We're 19 points back. Bagnaia climbs ahead of Zarco. He's 35 points back of the lead. So it's still very tight at the top. It can all change very, very quickly. But at the moment, we lead Ducati, which is good. But it's Ducati, Yamaha versus Suzuki in this season's championship. Very tight one. The team championship, a little bit more stretched out. We've got a 56-point lead, but we do have 3 riders. But yeah, Ducati as well. Constructors, we're leading, which is good. Good stuff, but a podium after a pretty poor result last time out. So yeah, good to bounce back with a podium, but now we need to get a win. So make sure you stay tuned to the rest of this series. Hopefully we can get a win next time out. But yeah, get subscribed for the rest of it. For now, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.